come mainly the
Oh, yeah, this is
courtesy of Paul.
This is what you mentioned.
Paul Foot Ink, obviously, printed them.
Very good. Dude, cool.
Peter Walters raced his eyes.
Peter Walters.
Peter Walters, he done the race, he did the design of us on the label, and Paul then printed them off, cut them to shape, and supplied that as a sponsorship deal. So,
very good.
Which we're most grateful to him for doing.
No, very much.
He used to be a junior dragster driver. He was a right plonker.
Who are you referring to?
Who was? Peter Walters.
Oh,
really? Didn't realise that. Excellent. There's some more boxes of it. The Windy City. Oh, okay.
Well, I wish I had somewhere to put them, I really do. But
well, we don't want them anymore.
Derek, Bill, do you want to stand there?
Well, if you take the cab, I don't need to be in the shot.
Go
on, then, I'll take that one.
Okay. Well, I've got a wide enough lens for that. Brilliant, thanks.
okay.
Does that work?
John, you're priority for you now, mate. Is that it? My arms are aching. Oh, sorry.
That's great.
Your pole and rolled it that way.
Oh, brilliant.
You know, but
Wow. How long is that?
72, 74.
Oh, how long
Did
ago?
you say year? Got to be 74, isn't it?
Yeah,
It was the last car, wasn't it?
It was the last car. No, it'd be after 74.
This man I know, when was it, Nick?
About 77?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, I think that's right.
Yeah.
You don't mind me keep asking you, Nick, do you?
No.
I know you're,
Well,
you'll be spot on with it, and I will.
You ran it without any front bodywork.
Can I have a new sticker though?
Oh, let's see what we can do. The guys are still taking some photos, so.
Ah, it's unbelievable. Where's he gone? He was here a minute ago.
John?
Oh, John, over there. The guy in the sunglasses. Yeah. Over there, check shirt, sunglasses, with a lady. I have no idea what happened. I mean, you're talking 45 years ago, darling. I can't remember yesterday.
Phil, I've got one question. Why happened to the rest of the panels?
Well, the top panel I had for many, many years, but when I moved to Stoke, I had nowhere for it at that stage, and I had so much stuff that I literally junked it, which is a great shame because it had a lovely mural on it. It was really good, really nice. Yeah, but, which is a shame, but you know, you can keep so much stuff, can't you?
Some people that don't have the facilities to don't necessarily keep stuff either.
So, yeah. I don't know why really I got the trip I ever took at Santa Pod in Keith's Morris Minor. I did red light.
So maybe it's
For my very first drive down the track. Yeah. But what I always said was it proves I was racing.
Well,
I always wanted to win.
Yeah, if you don't red light, you're not racing, are you?
That's it. But there you go. The only time that really upset me about that was one day we were in bracket racing, and I was never a fan of bracket racing. But no, I didn't like it. Heads up. That's it. But I was racing Richard, and he bogged it off the start line, and I was halfway down the track and he was still on the start line, so I sandbagged and he drove straight past me in the lights and I lost. Never sandbagged ever again.
Was that a slingshot?
That was the slingshot, I think. Yeah.
The one with the big Ford engine, the V8.
The V8, yeah. But they were planning on putting a side valve in it.
Yeah.
What happened to it, I really don't know.
That was built by Anna Herridge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The chassis, yeah.
Yes, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yes, that one. Yeah. Yeah. Whereas this one was built by Tony Anderson, who's due to be here.
Yeah, that'd be along.
he is. I spotted him.
Is he here?
Oh, right. Yes, it is. Blimey, I didn't see him come in. Yeah, what a good idea. Thanks, John.
It's a bit rude, isn't it? Well, the LSC. I mean, Ryan makes a much nicer noise. And he gets quite sort of peeved about it.
John said one of your cars was used in a music video.
This is the one I got. Yes.
The same Trans Am that you
Yes.
He's dead now.
Yes. Of course, you were at Marley. You were at Marley, weren't you?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Bob, yeah? Yeah. Oh, one arm load.
Derek Metcalf, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
all right. Well, good to meet you.
That is horrible there.
This is the gentleman
You
who's...
look like one old bandit.
This is a gentleman whose fault all of us are.
Yeah, well, sort of. Yeah. I do all the scanning.
Saturday, we just moved to Bramley
Yeah,
and we were all loaded up with air drags on the trailer,
yep.
and this car pulled to a halt outside.
Yeah.
And two young gentlemen
Gentlemen.
Right down the drive. It's a dragster. It's a dragster.
And that was
exciting those
Keith,
days.
Stacey and I.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, love.
Yeah, that's right. And we've been great buddies ever since.
Yes, we have.
What have we done? The things we've done together.
Oh, good Lord. We had some laughs, haven't we, Bill?
Do you remember the time we were going up to Santa Pod? Keith's car broke down.
I remember this.
And we were just standing there wondering what the hell to do, and Derek and his trailer drive up.
Yeah.
And guess what?
No.
We went away with them for the weekend.
This is right
As you do.
roundabout, just by the
At Staines.
Heathrow Airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's two dejected people. And they couldn't believe it. They saw
There
us
was three.
come round.
We had Dave with us as well, didn't we? Dave Fleming, do you remember him?
Yes, I
Canadian?
do, yeah.
Yeah, he was
And
with us.
so what we do, long piece of rope, towed Keith's car it was, ran it at the back street.
Left
They
it.
all piled in the back.
Yeah.
Had a free weekend. Didn't have to pay, really. I don't know where they slept that night or where they ate. But
I can't remember. I can't
who
remember.
we slept with, I don't know.
No.
Do you remember that barbecue that Keith organised?
Well, down on the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, with a big pot of sweet corn. Oh, it's lovely. He boiled the sweet
Those
corn.
were the days when Keith worked for Walls. So he knew all the butchers. And he was the one who did the scrape, Keith did. Oh, dear.
He was just the other way round.
Unfortunately, Bill came with us, which I think I know where Keith lived. In Hayden Island, wasn't it?
It was Haynes Island,
Yeah.
yeah.
The kids bought all these steaks. But Bill had to come back that Saturday night, so we brought Bill back. There was something on. So I know we didn't stay down on the beach that night. But John, John and Jill.
John and Jill. But they did say they were going to be
Oh, they were
late.
going to be later.
Yeah.
They were coming later.
They all slept in the tent, and I believe Keith piled in with them, I think.
Probably, I can't remember.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Johnny Farmer?
That's it.
Johnny
So
Farmer.
we very often used to congregate here on Friday night.
Of course, it was packed in there on a Friday night, wasn't it?
And it was just at the time when McDonald's had come alive. And Keith, true to form, said, "Well, you can get a McDonald's. You have to go all the way to Woking." He got this great big bucket of McDonald's, and we all piled back home, sat on the floor eating Kentucky Fried Chicken, playing records of big American dragsters.
Who was it that made that? We used to make a tape and send over to America.
We did it at their house.
We did it at your house.
Yeah.
Who was that? You went over from England to be a commentator.
I forgot about that. Another saga, where you are, that's at the guard park. This is when they just opened a beer cellar in North Street. Here we go.
I know nothing. I know nothing about this.
Keith said, we've got to go to the beer cellar. We didn't know what we were in for. We gave each time to lager, wasn't it?
I remember going to a beer cellar in Bedford. Was it Bedford? Yes, Bedford. Yeah, and that was some wild part. I think
There from the age of 3.
Yeah.
You talking about the barbecue?
yes.
That were the days we all got drunk in the German beer canner down there and fell into the igloo tent because I couldn't step over the entrance.
Did we, when we went down for that barbecue,
Yeah.
did we stop at that pub just past Derek's to fill up with booze? Do you remember that one?
The Leathern Bot?
Was it called the Leather?
No, you wouldn't have gone that way.
No,
Hayden.
it's been the Jolly Farmer in Bramley, I suppose.
Why would we have gone that way?
I don't know. It's just something it's in my
No,
mind.
it's straight down the A3.
I know, we've got to get to A3 from Bramley.
Well, you have, but I
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, Bill was
But
with
we
us.
were all together.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
remember
very
that.
convenient.
All I remember is John Smith's friend had broken his leg. Where we parked down by the lifeboat inn.
Yeah.
Stankington, 1987. These are events. This is all events that Russ went to.
I've asked the question if they actually want to keep them as such.
Yeah.
Right.
And Geoff's comment was they probably only go back in the loft. I don't know. Would you two guys be able to help them or do something with them? Would you like to do something with them if they don't want to keep them anymore?
Yeah, sure, we can.
Would that be right, Geoff? Am I coming? Yeah.
That's Islip, that's in Brittany.
So,
again, was part of the 1990, was part of the Euro series. We've got 2 of each of those, 2.
Okay.
Two of each.
Okay,
They're both the same.
Yeah. So there was actually Nick
As you do.
And there's this, which was a festival of sports that Russ, and I'll tell you who else went to that, was Steve Johnson, took motor mouse as well. It was Russ and Steve went, well, I've
got some videos
of that, and this was not, that was 1987, that was at Saint-Omer in France. I think that's from the same event.
Yes.
That's from the same event.
The French, they took over this area, closed the road, so right where the drag racing is out
That's an old
now.
photo.
And then the
That was from there.
Yep. That's from Saint-Omer.
Oh, there you are. In that jacket.
There you go.
There's that one. What else have we got here? We've got that one's from. This was in France again, another French one. Doesn't say the year on that one.
No,
For some reason.
they did have a habit of just closing roads.
These might be familiar.
Oh yeah, we've got some of those.
Got some of those.
Yeah.
I bet Ross has got a few still.
That was another
Unless you handed them all
place.
out.
Aniche.
Another
I've got to say, these were all ones of the Euro series. Look, Zandvoort, 1987. There we go. And these ones, Hockenheim, 1986.
Oh yeah, remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
just keepsakes that we've had.
so it's just stuff that we've had in the loft.
Yeah.
Would you guys like to do something with them? Could you?
Sure.
between
Yeah,
you?
sure. We can do. Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Would you mind?
Just come to you, okay, so we'll have to someone said we're to bring it out.
I'll be as quick as I can, but I just feel it's only right to have a few words first of all, so I'm a little nervous, so while it comes across Norway right. I was going to do a quick introduction, I'm going to, with firstly the historians, and I had a few one-liners from their track records, but I'm just going to introduce them briefly, and I've got some information sheets here which covers all of their history of what they've done. I'll pop it on the tables, but pretty much you guys here, because most of the historians are sitting over here. We've been having a meeting of our own, a chat of our own over in another building from earlier on, which has been really interesting, really productive and very worthwhile. So But firstly, just to say, it's lovely to see you all. Welcome here to Blackbushe and the Pathfinder Cafe. Thank you to Becky and Kieran and all the staff for organising it all for us, obviously, and doing on what I'd like to say is so far been an enjoyable event. So there's a few more hours to go. And also, obviously, thank you to Simon, obviously, from Simon Groves from Eurodragster, because obviously he very kindly came up some months ago and offered to sponsor the event, so that's also made it possible for tonight. All I had to do was just organise it, so without these guys and everyone else and you all turning up, it wouldn't have been possible, and particularly with Bill's panels and Derek's bits and pieces. Geoff and Jan have brought some posters, bits and bobs, so right over there's brought a photo album which Nick has got, so they've all been passed on to the various different causes, shall we say, or guys that will make use of them, and Jerry as well included. So if I just ask, if I introduce Simon, obviously Simon Grow, would you guys, as I mentioned, would you just stand up, because one or two of the guys are asking me who's who. So Simon Grow obviously is editor of the Eurodragster.
Thank you.
Sponsored the event. And they've all got a history and a background, so which I've typed out here on some sheets. So I'll pop them on the table so you guys can read them. Then who have we got? Nick Petty, obviously with the camera. This
Me. I'll take a film myself.
It's very much from the 60s to the 90s. Then we have Jerry Cookson, as in Jerry Cookson Jr. Is that all right to say, Junior?
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Gerald Cookson, who you will all probably remember, obviously Jerry is his son. So he's still very much around. Your dad and your mum and dad as well. And Jerry runs a Facebook site in which he has a great deal of help from Clive Rooms, who's very much a researcher. And he helps out everybody's site. Well, they all help out each other, but Clive particularly, so he just sits in the background, or he's there in the background, just supplying as much information as much as people ask for, myself included. So, because without all of these guys, I certainly couldn't have been able to complete the stories that we've managed to write about you, and obviously without all the help of you supplying it, and the material, and the interviews, and pestering you at the wrong time and the right time, probably, Derek, but I think it all works out quite good in the end. So I think it's quite right to introduce these guys, because everyone's played a part in producing your stories. So, and then we have, who should we have next? We've got, Chris Dossett, he's hiding over there. Chris, show yourself, you won't get away with it. Chris runs a site called Track Bikes, which some of you might have been on, and it's just completely full of information, which I found extremely useful, and through Chris that led me on to others, and vice versa. And then we've got Keith Lee, which some of you may know. He started out very much in the well, all of the guys have seen drag racing from somewhere in the 60s on, did varying years. He's raced a car, motorcycles, commentated, and does write books currently at the moment. But again, the detailed information I've put onto the sheets here, which you guys can take a look and have a read of if you'd like to, because there's obviously just too much to read out. So. And then we've got Tog. It's Andy Rogers, known as Tog. You guys probably won't know him as Tog, we all do. He was one of the founders of Eurodragster.com. Right, yep. And ran it for over 20 years. A year or two back, stood down from being the editor, and Simon has taken over. Simon's taken over as editor on the Eurodragster. Then over here we've got Andy Wilshire. He's basically a
Photojournalist.
Photojournalist. But he does an awful lot in America. He goes to America regularly to take photographs, but of course does all the events over here as well. So he's here tonight. Hopefully we're taking, if you could, Andy, maybe just a few shots of just the pioneers on their own, which would be nice to add to your stories, and some group photographs as well, please.
Yes,
Would be really...
you can go on, no problem.
Thank you, Andy, that's terrific. Yeah, brilliant. Dave Dick is someone I've known for 20 years, friends, just a spectator, but he's like all the other guys, he's got lots of memorabilia, and a dedicated enthusiast and spectator over the years. I think that's probably everybody, isn't it? So, you guys, yeah.
Who the hell are you?
That's enough, Luke. So, if I just pass these out, put a couple on each page. I've only got 6 copies there, sorry. So that's. I've kind of done myself, but again, not without the help of others. One of whom, Paul Foot from Paul Foot Inc. You guys won't know him. He lives over Canby Way. He's raced a few cars. He's also done some sponsorship for Sandpod and Shakespeare County Raceway, and also for Eurodragster over the years. And he does printing, designing and promotional material he produces. He's had to go off apparently because he's got an event on cows on the Isle of Wight for the festival, and he's got a small problem over there, so he's had to disappear unfortunately. But he also, a few years ago, tried to organise the 50th anniversary for here at Blackbushe, but it didn't quite work out for a number of reasons, so unfortunately. But he's produced a label, Peter Walters Race Designs, who couldn't make it tonight, has done the design for us, and then through some of your photographs that you've supplied, he's produced a label which Paul Foot sponsored. The bottles of beer come from Hepworth Brewery, which is outside Billingshurst in West Sussex. It's originally Pullman's Ale, 4.2 ABV. It's the details on the back label, but you guys are all featured with the photographs on the front label. So the historians, our group earlier on, had their bottles, so in a moment I'll come around and pass out the bottles to you all as well. So we'll take over as a memento and keep recording me. So other than that, that's everything. So just hopefully you enjoyed yourself so far, and hopefully you'll go and enjoy yourselves the rest of the evening. So.
New hangar edge and really make this place a centre of aviation. But as part of that new terminal, we want to put in a history hub education centre, which really reflects the history of this airport, being a World War II airfield. We've got an awful lot of history about the aircraft, but also we want to pay homage to the past of the drag racing here. So we definitely want to put that as part of the history hub. So I'm sure that I will be in contact with John, who may well be in contact with some of you guys for some materials that we can put in there to make sure that that part of the history stays alive here at Blackbushe.
Sorry? Not really, I'm not great. The only real ale I like is tea.
Oh, you're only saying that because it works?
No,
ran it, owned it, or whatever you did. Then it'd be like silence on
I'll close it. Yes,
He didn't mention you.
thank you.
It's one to try, one to drink, not one each. Something like that. But no, I had a few shocks. I had about 10 years after you recorded this thing yourself.
Yeah.
Oh right. Okay.
Enjoyed it?
No. Well, no, but there was there was one little bit. Do you remember the fuel pump on mine broke? It was an old aircraft pump or something. And you said, well, if we get hold of a solid piece of PTFE, which I managed to get from a factory in Slough, and then you moaned because it wouldn't cut on your lathe, but you eventually did it. Well, about 15 years after I sold the car, I got a phone call from this factory in Slough. We have an outstanding invoice for you, Mr. Stacey. I said the chap I spoke to, I paid him to do it. So I suddenly realised it was like, backhand. It's, and they said, well, we'll consider the matter closed because he's no longer working with us. We don't know where you are and whatever. So that's how it was. But yeah, it was a strange thing. I've got no regrets. I mean, I must be the only person here that couldn't tell a spark from a copyright. Because I was never a mechanic.
No.
Never a mechanic. I mean, John Smith used to help, and then I had this Pete Hodgkins who helped me in the later days. Really nice guy. Well, he was a mechanic at Wincanters.
That's right.
Yeah, had a blue and white, blue and cream Bedford Dormobile camper. And it turns out that his mother worked in Marks and Spencer's Reunion before I knew her. I mean, she's a little bit young.
My mum, she was very. With long hair. She would let her. Now something these long hair yachts coming into my house. That's why I had the workshop there upstairs.
Piece of quiet. But I always remember the amount of time that you put in for me because of, well, one, I didn't even have a street car. I didn't even have a car. When I had the dragster, after I bought it off of Gary Whitehead, I had the dragster and a trailer, no way of moving it. And so John found a garage at Maybury Rough, John Smith. He found a garage there, and then I'd get a lift up from somebody, or I'd borrow a car or rent a car, and then Pete came along because he had the van, so we did that. So tried a race car, it's a nice street car, but it worked out all right. I mean, it's always a bit of a scream, isn't it? But the work that you did for me, I know you spent a lot of time with it, and we got it running in the end. And I'm glad somebody had that photograph of me beating you off the line. Well, no, it was a handicap. It was a handicap.
You were ahead of me though, off the line.
And I could hear you. When he's coming up behind me, you can hear him. Like,
known for being sharp without pulling red lights.
no, well, I mean, you look at it. I watched the American race, and now somebody cuts a 001 line.
Some time running 3 seconds.
Yeah, they're 1,000 foot. They're 1,000 foot.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but even so, they're going. They're still running 300 miles an hour. 3 seconds. Now there's lots of that. I would like to know more about the actual technical side of it.
Oh, no doubt. It's all computer.
Well,
a lot of it,
they did try to do that, didn't they? With clutches and things. I think they went away from that. So clutches are now mechanical, like they used to be.
I think it's gone away from.
You've just got so much power. You don't have to have a gearbox. You just direct drive. That much torque. But there's a lot of things about it that I don't understand, and you can't read up on it.
I think maybe one of the slides I got. I remember seeing Don Garlics when I was out in the States using a jeweler's eyepiece to inspect his spark plugs. You know, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is a different leak altogether. Yeah.
What's going on just by looking at the spark plugs.
I'll ask you a question. Did you see that video of the downloader of the first electric dragster to hit 200?
Yes, I did see that.
And all you get is the noise of the tyres.
Squeak of the tyres, isn't it? Yeah.
It's the squeal of the tyres. Yeah, because Garnet's was hoping to do it, but it was I can't think who it was. He was the guy who was in charge of it was, I think he used to race a fuel orchard or something like that. But it was on YouTube. I don't know, if you put in YouTube first electric drags to 200, you'll bring it up. Because one of the things I found interesting on there was a series called The Legends, all American people from the day. Well, I think John Force is one of the more up to date ones, but the number of people who now would have nothing to do with NHRA. I mean, there was Jungle Jim Lieberman, and she said they didn't like them at all. That's why they did a lot of match races everywhere. Made their money that way rather than going into big internationals. It's a thing. But listen, I'm so pleased. I really am. Because when he phoned me up first, I said, John, I said, what are you talking about? I can't remember yesterday, let alone 50 years ago. Well, 46. It starts coming back.
It starts coming back, and I think the only trouble I had with it is trying to fit some eras, these years, get the ultimate years in the right order. I found that I can remember each individual time, trying to make them
because
fit together.
Numerous cars.
That's right.
Spectator races, spectator. And that's it. And that's what I said to John. I feel a bit of a fluke really here because it's all I said you were there at the right time. And I thought, and being at the first drag festivals and
yes, well, I was there for the first one.
You're probably sitting next to you.
In 64. That was it for me. I never. Derek and Garlic and Tommy Ivan. That was it.
My favourites were still the Willis Coops.
Oh yes.
Keith Pittman and John Masmanian. Was it Masmanian?
No, it's Ohio George Montgomery.
Oh, Montgomery, that's right.
Yeah.
And then you had Ronnie Socks and Dave Strickland with the factory experimentals, as they call it. And then, because they all came with me to the 65, which was living washouts. But then you saw somebody like Danny on Gaius, who was also, they ended up doing Indianapolis 500s and stuff like that, you know. But,
Tony Nance.
Tony Nance, yeah.
He disappeared into the spray, going the wrong way, backwards through the lights, but it took them together.
But I don't enjoy watching them.
No, I don't.
No, I think it's the same people all the time.
Yeah.
Everything looks the same. There's nothing individual apart from the paintwork and the characters, but I've still got my favourites. But once in a while,
funny cars look the same now, don't they? Just blobs.
Yeah.
In the old days, you could tell what car it was.
And the trouble is, with the coverage that we get on ESPN, is they only film those, top fuel, top bike, not top, pro stock. Not they show the odd shot of a gasser or something like that. But, it's. No, I'm glad we did it when we did it. I think that's
did it the right time.
That's the thing. It's like being not quite the experimental stage, but I always remember the first time I sat in your old car and drove it. Nearly, but because the fastest I'd ever been up to Sandpit on track, apart from driving Richard's Transit, was in my Morris Minor that I used to have, which was Bill and I both raced up the track, and then jumping something like that, whereas the Morris did 23, 24 seconds or something like that, and I was making the mistake of trying to watch everything. No, I had a word. Alan Herridge come over and had a word with me. So just stay straight in front and floor it, and that's what I did.
Front ends of the cars are very much easier to handle anyway. Because you're sitting right behind everything. You're sitting behind the engine and the front long and as soon as it deviates at all, you can catch it.
You've got time.
Whereas with a rear engine car, although you have some length ahead of you, it needs to go a lot more before you realise
how far out.
The handling is more difficult, but of course you've got the perspective of everything being behind you, if you have a car or anything like that. You don't even know it. I had them on my car, I had a fire, and I didn't even know until afterwards that there was the character, the fire crew and everything, and then it was on fire, I didn't even know.
And of course nowadays, I mean...
Right here, please. Oh, you're done? Right here. It's going to come over here. All right. Absolutely. One more. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Can you hear it?
I'm the one that I did all your.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I did manage to download the whole lot onto my onto my desktop.
Yeah.
I just pushed the right button eventually, and it all happened.
All right. Brilliant. They all come out really well. They're very clear.
Brilliant.
Because they were original negatives.
Yeah.
They don't lose any of their colour. The actual crispness of it. So they came out really well.
Yeah, I was so pleased with that. But I saw, and the old black and whites.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, they were just as good.
It was what Keith said, wasn't it, when he just brought up the thank you for doing the story bit, and as he said there, I've got all my slides on digital now. On the computer,
My son bought me a piece of kit to transfer slides.
Oh yeah.
To digital, and I've been trying for about 3 years to get this thing to work and do it, and now I don't need to.
No, that's right. All done for you now.
Good job.
No, I enjoy doing it. There's some good cars on there as well.
Yeah.
So you got John Wolfe in there when he came over with his Cobra.
Yeah.
Quite a rare old shot.
Yeah, my favourite one though is Bud Barnes.
Yes.
Funny managed to get him, he just started to smoke the tyres.
Yes, right. You got it just at the right point.
Probably the best way to run the took that one actually.
Excellent.
Anyway, good to see you.
Okay, and you. Yeah. So who's that, Richard? It's Richard, is it?
Yeah,
Jarman?
Richard Jarman, yeah. Nick.
Hi, Richard. Hello there.
Nick's obviously one done a lot of the scanning.
I scanned all the photos and the stories. Sorry?
Great job.
Yeah, I enjoy doing it. So.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
It's Richard that supplied the two big posters as well.
That's right. Yeah, the old ones.
And obviously the ones to do with the rear engine car, was called as well. So, unfortunately, Marty couldn't make it. He just can't travel at the moment.
Oh, really? Yeah.
He can't get about and Have you spoken to Derek?
I've spoken to Derek, yes. That's Bill. Is that Bill Haynes?
No, that's John. And then Bill, you spoken to Bill? Bill's the counter.
Yes, Bill. Yeah.
And then Keith, obviously.
Yes.
Keith was chat with you anyway, wasn't he? You chatted earlier.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Trying to get everyone on film.
Yeah, I think I've got them all now. So.
Oh, brilliant.
On video again. You're being filmed again.
I was just saying, that's based on Gravely Aerodrome, 35 Squadron, where originally in the early 60s we used to practice there.
That's right, your practice days,
It's Gravely Aerodrome.
Yeah.
And a very good friend, he's still alive, he was one of the original Pathfinders.
Yeah.
He always said it was a salt to get the Lancaster down then, if this lot was a light.
Oh, right.
The Lancaster was light then because all the fuel had gone.
Yeah.
And they had to force it through this heat blanket which would rise up, trying to push the aeroplane up, and they wanted to get down.
Oh, okay.
Well,
interesting. Yeah.
I've never heard of that one before. No.
How did you first get into drag racing?
Well, we saw it at 63 when Don Garlitz and Mickey Thompson came over and demonstrated a Brighton speed trial.
Yeah, that was the Moon Eyes car you mean, don't you?
Sorry?
That was the Moon Eyes car, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, the Dante Deuce.
Dante Deuce Moon Eyes.
Mickey Thompson. Yeah.
The yellow one.
Yeah.
Like a box frame.
That's right.
Was.
Yeah.
Wasn't a teardrop.
Yeah.
And they did demonstrations down Brighton Seafront at the speed trials.
Yes.
The first Saturday in September.
All right. So that was the first time you saw drag racing?
Yes.
So you hadn't heard of it before then?
No.
All right.
Well, people had built machines which they claimed were going to go quickly.
Yeah.
But they never did. I mean, there was Lloyd Jones with the Spitfire, the Merlin engine machine.
That's right,
and that didn't produce the speed that they thought.
No.
It hadn't got the acceleration.
No, that's true.
There was the Swandine Special.
Yeah.
And that was the first, when they came out and did their demos up to Brighton Seafront, that's what fired my enthusiasm up.
Oh, okay.
So from there we started designing and building.
Yeah.
You know.
So how did you design your dragsters? Did you base it on American dragsters? Or
no, it was
all your own idea, was it?
Ideas.
Yeah.
It was a Triumph TR engine.
That's right. Yeah.
Which was originally in a Vanguard.
Yeah.
But it's wet liner, so you could take the sleeves out.
Yeah.
So it came down to under 2 litres.
Yeah.
And then we married that up with a VW gearbox.
Yep.
Which was turned upside down.
Yes.
Back to front.
Yep. So it made the gears go
So the gear lever came back in a crutch instead of going forward like it would in the VW.
Yeah.
So I meant drilling another hole in it to drain the sump if you ever wanted to drain the oil.
Yeah.
And it worked fine, right in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, but only ever used 3 gears, never used first to start off with.
No.
But the idea was to get the weight all over the back axle.
Yeah.
Naively. with me sitting in it as well.
Yes.
So that's why it could pull good wheelies. But it was very rapid on acceleration. I started off using the VW wheels. But I realised that they were too highly geared for a rapid start. Very good at the top end. So what I did, I put Ford wheels on it.
Oh, did you?
And that gave me a bit more rapid acceleration.
They were smaller diameter wheels.
I lost it at the top end.
That's true. Can't have it both ways.
It was very much a trial, live and trial situation. We all did, you know. I mean, we took the SU carburetor, took the oil out of the pistons and put little lead weights in there and fired around with needles and things like that. That's why I built that twin cam head. We'd been to a club, AGM, I forget where it was. We had the whole club had a coach up to this place, somewhere up in the Midlands it was.
Oh, was that Hednesford?
I can't remember where it was.
That was the British Hot Rod Association AGM. The British Hot Rod Association AGM.
Where was that then?
It was near Birmingham, sort of way.
We had the AGM up there. We were all coming back in the coach. And I always remember dear old Alan Herridge. He said that unit of yours would go bloody well if you could get a twin over him can on it. You know. And that's where the idea came from. Truly that way. The 3.4 Jag, the bore on that was exactly the same as the TR then.
It matched up completely.
And the pistons were nearly at the same, or the cylinders were nearly at the same centre as the hemispherical combustion chamber. Now that was where I fell down. Because the TR pistons were flat top. Jaguar ones are dome. And I could never ever find a way of converting a flat top piston into a dome one. I used to buy loads of old Jaguar pistons, machine the head off, I couldn't do it, but people argued well into a recess for me, everything. But they always came loose, even argued welded, the piston came loose, or the top came loose. Of course, rattled around and bang, it went through the head of the piston. You know, I think if I'd have stayed with it, I think it could have developed quite nice. The power was there. I never lost any power. In fact, my time dropped a little bit. But it wanted money spending on it. So I then had to put the ordinary head back on again, so I could compete. So that's how. The incredible thing was, people said I couldn't do it. I got hold of the ordinary two camshafts, got the formula at work. I knew where I wanted the cams, obviously going to work to the piston, where the valves were. So I got him to weld up, put a great big dollop of weld on everywhere where they wanted a cam. And then I had a template to the shape that I wanted. And I hand ground them and then stoned them down. And they worked. Incredible. But the trouble was timing it. I got nothing to work on. And I could not get it to fire properly. And we had a very good friend who lived at Croydon, Derek Harvey, who worked on vintage racing cars, Bugattis mainly. So he came down to Portslade where we lived, and he worked out the timing positions for it, and timed it up and marked it, and that was the right position.
Was it?
He fired up straight away. Duplex chain, and the two gear wheels on there are Triumph camshaft gears. So they were the same ratio as what it should be. It was all trial and error. And to lubricate the camshaft, because I didn't run any oil ways through to it, I used to take the cam cover off, go down there with a squirt of oil can, put the lid on, and that I could do at least 3 or 4 runs without having to re-oil again. When it's just a fire up road, you quarter of a mile and stop. You know, an oil can did it all right. Never seized up. I made my own patterns for phosphor bronze bearings.
All right. Yeah.
Made my own patterns, had them cast, then machined them up. And it ran on phosphor bronze bearings. It's only, let's face it, that's about half a mile every time it went out, really. Every run. Fire up road, run down and back and switch off. And as far as I know, they're still good as gold. Phosphor bronze and good bearing. That's how that came about.
It's interesting.
I've got pistons with holes in the top. But you know, that engine was ever so strong. It never broke a con rod or anything. Never bent a con rod or crankshaft. Although that loose top was just thrashing around in there for a few seconds.
You think that would do something?
I never, as the Americans said, I never ventilated the crankcase.
Strong old engine.
That's how we worked in the early days.
That's right. Everybody did their own thing.
Suck it and see.
Then you teamed up with Harold Ball after that, didn't you?
Yes, that's what it was. We teamed up. You know, we had a good time together.
You had the V4 dragster then, didn't you?
Sorry?
You had the V4 dragster then.
Yes, that
with a supercharger.
That was good. That was. But what I did, I inherited a lot of faults in the Ford design.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Basically, it started off with, because it was supercharged. The first meeting, the cylinder gaskets just came straight out the side.
Oh, did they?
They were only paper.
Oh, right.
That's all they were.
Were they?
Compressed paper. Of course, they couldn't take the pressure.
No.
The next problem was, the cylinder heads on the V4 were held bound by bolts, not studs.
Right.
Into tapped holes. Of course, you'd wind the bolt in, the bolt would touch the bottom of the hole. You were torquing it up.
Oh, right.
You got the right torque. Of course, you hadn't.
No.
So you had to take all the studs, all the bolts out, take a lump off the bottom. They didn't touch the bottom of the hole. But Walkers of Woking, they made proper copper gaskets for it. And that cured the problem.
Did it?
And then by taking a little bit off the bottom of the bolt, so when you torqued it, you torqued it down properly and not against the bottom of the tapped hole. And I was quite pleased with it.
Can you remember your fastest time in that car?
Sorry?
Can you remember what the fastest time was in that car?
I can't remember. I do remember I did 107 quite regularly.
Oh, right,
I do remember that. I was thrilled that I did that.
That was quite quick in those days, wasn't it?
It was.
Full one,
I was saying to somebody, if somebody did a 10, he was going. That was dear old Alfie Hagan. He was the only one that used to turn a 10 in those days. I did keep all the timing chits, but when John was down, he said, "Hey, you got one here, 107." I said, "Yeah, another one, 107." Well, I was quite chuffed, really, for homemade,
Pam drove your dragster as well, didn't she?
She drove the first one, It was one evening. It was a very unofficial evening. I think it was towards the end of the season. Dear old John said, "Well, go on, let some of the other people have a go."
The ladies' eliminator, wasn't it?
I think it was unofficially. And Alan inherited that. Said, "Come on, Pam, have a go." So Pam, we stuck my crash up on Pam's head. Put on a blue cardigan, strapped her in as loose as she could. She never driven it before, so she had to go anyway.
Yeah. Did you enjoy that?
It was a very friendly evening, very unofficial. You know, it was the beauty of it, you know.
Yeah.
Who wants to have a go, you know?
Very laid back.
We owe John and Anne Bennett a lot.
Yes.
We really did.
They did well, yeah.
People criticise John, but if he hadn't have taken the bullet and taken that lease on Santa Pod, we would never have.
It would never have happened, would it? No. He used to do everything, didn't he? He was taking photographs. He was writing the magazines.
Yes.
He was running the meetings. He was
he had a super camera out of it.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. Whether he had the odd meal, I don't know, but. You know, we had our fun.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Good.
Yeah. And you stopped racing about 69, did you?
Yeah. Well, the bank manager said, I've got my money, now what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're not going out.
Just completely out of the blue.
Do you remember that when Campbell was there?
That's right, Donald Campbell.
Yes,
that's right.
And it was a lovely event.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, I was quickest on the day.
It was a Sunday.
Yes, and I was asked by the RAC and ACU to do observed trials with the car against motorcycle. So I ran the Dragon against Ian Ashwell on Satan.
What was his name? I just remember.
And Alan Herridge, he was busy oiling his Firestone tyres, I think, so he could actually get them to spin. Because if you remember, it's like a concrete runway, and there's just so much grip. But it was a lovely, lovely event.
It was, wasn't it? I remember it. Yeah. The only reason I remember it because on the Saturday, my brother's 21st birthday. So we attended that, and then later on in the evening we motored up there ready for the following day.
And I was pitted alongside Donald Campbell, and I think it was on the Friday, John can't remember his name, but he drove Bluebird and crashed it. Because he was unused to how the gas turbine spools up so slowly, and then how slowly they spool down. So he flew through the hedge at about 6 feet and 200 miles an hour, deranged the steering. And so Donald and Tonya and Leo Villa were alongside. And despite the fact of the accident, and Donald Campbell sometimes had a reputation of being quite a fiery character, but he was so kind to me personally, and he didn't seem fazed by anything at that point. He invited me to sit in Bluebird and meet Tonya and Leo, and so I have this wonderful memory of him extending all this courtesy to me as an 18-year-old. He took a lot of interest in the Allard Dragon as well.
Oh, the Allard, yes. I wondered if Alan might be there. He's still alive.
Yes.
Just down in Wales somewhere,
yes,
I believe.
Doing alloy radiators and intercoolers and things like that.
Somebody doing stuff for Land Rovers, is that right? Or?
Yes, yeah. Alleycraft is the name of the company, if I remember rightly. Yeah. And his son, he has a lot to do with the business. Because Alan, he's got to be Almost half a dozen years older than me, I guess.
Well, Alan must be, say, late 70s, early 80s.
Yes, I'm 73, so...
I'm 88.
Yeah, you're looking well. You've got more hair than I've got.
But Alan never really, I think with Sydney's disappointment really, Alan never was interested in it much.
No, I think you're absolutely correct there, Derek. So what Sydney thought about that, I've got no idea.
No, we don't know. Alan used to drive besides driving the Dragon, he used to drive that old Anfield.
Yes.
The blower.
Yeah, the Dragoon.
Yeah.
And somebody's built a replica of that. I don't know whether it runs or not, but there is a recreation. But it would be fascinating to have it properly up and running.
Yeah. Oh, so Sydney knew how to supercharge it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
He was good at it.
Yeah. And what a genial old cove he was. Fabulous.
Yeah. Sadly, I'm not going to say we were the last one, no, we weren't. But there was the meeting in '65 Southport. Did you go to that one?
No, that was at Woodvale, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
And we were racing there, and that was on a Sunday meeting with the Yanks and what have you. We had an army tent and we were kipping in that for the night there. And we'd finished the meeting and it all packed up and saying cheerio. And Sydney walked by and the poor mother, he couldn't hardly walk. He was really down on it afterwards.
Oh dear.
And Pam said, would you like to come in for a cup of coffee and a sit down? Oh, said, I'd love that. Do you mind? So he came into that tent and a sit down and a coffee and what have you. And I think about 3 weeks after that he's gone.
Right, yes.
He was nearly on his, he had mag drop then, you know.
Good way of putting it.
Yeah.
The governor.
Sadly, the sport owed him a lot.
Absolutely.
He started us all off. Really.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
I mean,
he'd have been so gratified to see the way it's gone in succeeding years.
Yeah. But sadly, you speak to the younger generation, they don't know who Sydney Allied is.
No.
And when you say to him, he won the Monte Carlo in his own car, he made it.
And Le Mans.
Yeah. And they said, what do you mean in his own car? He said, well, it's the Allied Motor Company. Oh, does it? You know, been lost in the history, the realms of motoring history.
In one of the books I've got a few on Allard. Actually, Alan Allard has written another book recently.
Has he?
Yeah, so that I was scared. But there's a wonderful picture of the Le Mans, and they are pitted in the woods, and they're suspending a Cadillac engine from a tree, just changing the engine of one of the cars. It's wonderful stuff.
I was privileged to go to his house once up near Isha in Claremont. It was a private estate, very nice. But in the garage there was a bright red saloon. And I often wondered if that was his Le Mans car, not Le Mans, the Monte Carlo car or not. I don't know. But I wonder what happened to that. Because Mrs. Allard was a widow now. Whoever's got that car has got some history.
Well, it's great to see you again.
Yeah, we're still going.
Well, I was glad to. I'm absolutely gratified that Harold Bull is still going, which is wonderful.
What part of the country are you based?
High Wycombe, Buckinghamshire.
Nearly over it, really.
Yeah, not too far away. Although, despite my boring received pronunciation of BBC English voice, I'm actually a canny Geordie by birth. That's the way I can love.
My goodness. Oh my God, you're getting a... It's like...
Hang on. Started something here.
It's the paparazzi.
It is a proper photograph with the butterflies open.
That is,
Put the jacket on. Jacket. Yeah, quick, put the jacket on. See if you like it.
We haven't still got film with these, we'll run out.
Oh, look at that. Big up to you now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm quite happy to take it. Lovely, thank you very much. More than welcome.
Thanks for that. Brilliant, brilliant.
And I remember what Geoff said when he drove. I didn't think it would be like that.
In a good way, I hope.
Well, no, it was about 20 minutes before he said anything.
Really? Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Excellent, excellent.
You remember that, Stacey?
Yeah, we need another mine host picture. Alright.
That's enough, that's enough. It's in enough of your work.
Two, John in the middle. Please.
John's going to give me a hand.
He was your host.
Panel.
No, stay in the middle, that's fine. There we go. That's okay. One over here, please. Three. Thank you, darling. Thank you, kindly. Now look right there. Now look right here.
Thank you very much.
Will I put it on?
It always surprises me.
First trophy, only trophy. I mean,
what do you mean?
Right over here, please.
Okay.
Three, really small. One, two, thank you. Why this jump on here? Hang on, Derek. That's what we're looking at. Do it first.
Ready? Okay, go. Do one more.
In the real sunshine, about 8:30 at night, really quiet, just beautiful as the sun comes. Just beautiful as the sun comes down.
Yeah.
I think Nick's claim the good one. Yeah.